Let's be real. For a lot of people, porn is their first teacher when it comes to sex. But here's the thing, it's a terrible teacher. It's entertainment designed to keep you watching, not to show you what a real, healthy connection actually looks like.
So just take a second and think about it. Who was your first sex teacher? Maybe it was a parent or a teacher at school, a friend even. For a whole lot of us, though, the answer is, well, it's a lot more complicated than that.
Yeah, because for so many people growing up right now, their main kind of unofficial sex ed class is the internet. And let's be specific, it's online porn. So what exactly is this teacher trying to show us?
Okay, so this is super important to get. Online porn isn't built to be educational at all. It's a product, right? It's engineered to get clicks, to get views, and to be as intense as possible so you stay hooked and keep coming back. It's not about teaching real intimacy. It's about grabbing and holding onto your attention. And to really understand why it's so good at grabbing our attention, we've got to look at our own brains. See, our brains are literally hardwired with this powerful reward system. It's the thing that's designed to make us do stuff again and again that's good for our survival. Like eating food or connecting with people.
And the star of that whole system, it's a little chemical called dopamine. You've probably heard of it. It's the feel-good neurotransmitter. So when you eat your favorite meal, or you win a game, or just watch something really exciting, your brain gives you a little hit of dopamine. It's basically your brain saying, hey, that was awesome. Let's totally do that again.
So how does this all play out with porn? Well, it creates this really powerful habit loop. First, all the new and intense stuff you see online triggers a huge dopamine rush. But here's the thing about our brains. They're smart, and they adapt. So over time, your brain gets used to that level of stimulation. It's called desensitization. Pretty soon, the same old stuff doesn't give you the same feeling. And that's when you might start looking for more extreme content to get that original rush back. For some people, this can spiral into a cycle that's really, really hard to control.
And listen, this isn't just some random idea. Scientists are actually seeing this happen in brain scans. A study from Frontiers in Human Neuroscience found that the brain activity in people with compulsive porn use looks a lot like what they see in drug addiction. It's literally affecting the exact same reward pathways.
So, okay, these changes are happening in the brain, but they don't just stay there. They don't stay online. They can actually start to spill over into the real world and mess with our expectations about what sex and relationships are actually like. Just think about the difference here. On one side, you've got porn. It's basically a scripted movie. It's all about performance, right? It's often got totally unrealistic bodies, there's zero real communication, and it completely skips over the important stuff like consent and, actually caring for the other person afterwards. But then you've got real intimacy. And that is all about connection, not a performance. It's about real, diverse bodies, and it absolutely requires communication. It's built on a foundation of respect, consent, and care.
And what some of these brain imaging studies are finding is that heavy use can create a kind of tolerance. Basically, the brain gets so used to this constant, super intense stimulation from a screen that real-life intimacy, it might start to feel, well, kind of boring or less exciting in comparison.
And this isn't just a what-if scenario. This brings us to a really powerful number from a Cambridge University study, 60%.
What does that number mean? It means that in that study, 60% of people who had compulsive sexual behaviors said they had a hard time getting aroused with a real, actual partner. The takeaway here is huge. For some people, the fantasy on the screen became so intense that it made reality seem less arousing.
And this isn't just a physical thing. It's not just about arousal. When this becomes a compulsive habit, it can take a really big emotional and psychological toll too. Yeah, researchers have found that when this habit gets out of control, it's often linked to some pretty tough emotions. We're talking about things like anxiety or feeling irritable all the time. A lot of people talk about this deep feeling of shame or guilt. Some even describe feeling kind of emotionally numb, which, as you can imagine, makes it really hard to enjoy just a normal, everyday connection with someone. And I really want to be clear about something here. This isn't about morals. It's not about judging anyone. This is about health. It's about your well-being. It's simply about understanding how our brains and our emotions work and seeing how certain habits can affect us. So this is really just a question to ask yourself. Is this a habit that feels like it's out of your control? Is it getting in the way of the real-life connections that you actually want to have? Just being honest with yourself about that. That's the most important first step. So, if porn has been a pretty bad teacher for you, the good news is you can absolutely choose a better guide. There are so many healthier places to learn about sex and how to build amazing relationships.
So, what are these healthier alternatives? Well, you can look for medically accurate sex ed from sources you can actually trust. You can start having honest conversations with people in your life, a partner, a close friend, maybe even a therapist. There are amazing books and resources out there that really focus on respect and consent. But, above all, the biggest thing is to start prioritizing real world connection over what you see on a screen.
So if you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this. Porn is not a how-to manual. It's just entertainment. The real deal, truly fulfilling relationships and intimacy, they aren't scripted. They're built, one moment at a time, on a foundation of real communication, total consent, and genuine care for each other.